In the summer of 1963, John Cannistraro realized his ambition to start his own mechanical contracting company. His new company was based in a spare room in his apartment and had little capital or resources. But John was not going to let that stop him.
John did a lot of work for us, and his company grew very big. He had a lot of good people work for him.
One of the reasons why I went in business is because the greatest experience I had, I was an officer in the Navy, and I learned always respect your subordinates. So by respecting my employees, that was the key.
John, he was very ambitious, very hyper, go, and hard-working guy, and he was working at least 6-7 days a week, 12, 14 hours a day to grow this business, which those days was kind of tough.
The father had to work his way up, doing estimates on a dining room table, and it was a different world. He fought for every single thing.
A good friend of mine many years ago told me, always root for the underdog. And I looked at John in a small company with his brother, and I said to myself, this guy's the underdog, and I'm going to give him a chance.
Everyone who starts from the bottom, working with the tools, and go up, that's the way to go, because he knows what the young people do, what the plumbers do with their hands, because he's done it himself. So that's why he's successful.
It's so good when somebody recognizes a problem, accepts it, and corrects it without any baloney. And that's a real good sign of a wonderful company and a wonderful guy. I mean, that's the kind of guy John Cannistraro is.
That's the way it is. That's your obligation, to do the best you can.
Once he started up, it was just him and my grandmother, and she was very adamant about 5 o'clock, phones off, it's family dinner time. And my dad was the oldest of 8, and they were all really young when he started it up, and some of them not even born yet. So I think it's pretty impressive to be able to manage that large of a family and start a company from scratch.
Then in the 80s, the kids start coming, children, with his business. And then naturally, John is getting a little older. He tries to stay back and get to these own children, take care of the business, which they're very, very successful.
They've been able to keep that family feel. There are other people in the company that are related to one another, and so it just continues that, those strong values and just really caring about one another.
I like that it's a family-owned company. I like that if you talk with John Jr. and Mr. C, they're very enthusiastic about the company, their approach. They want everybody to be better and do their best. So it's appealing for someone that's been with the company for that long.
I think the family's good. I mean, I started with the company when the father was a project manager out there in Natick, and he kind of took a shine to me out there, and that's why I'm still here now, I think, to this point,
It's a good company. I've made a career out of it. I basically do the same thing when I started. I started for his brother, and I've worked my way up. The company has gotten a lot bigger since the day I started, and there was 8 of us in the office.
The company is very family-oriented, but yet they handle projects on a huge spectrum. So they have the small company feel with handling the work of a corporation.
Everyone knows everyone. I think it's a team. I think that the employees are treated very well. They're not really treated like employees. They're treated as part of the team. And I think more than anything that everyone here strives to be the best. That's the goal, and it's the common goal, is to be the best.
I care a lot about the project. I care what happens. I put a lot of heart and soul into every project that we do.
And I've got young kids, I've taken them to Boston. I said, hey, Daddy's worked at that building, or Daddy's worked at that building. So you get a sense of pride.
I'm very proud of what I've done. It's an accomplishment. Gillette Stadium is the proudest job I ever did. I was very happy when we got that. I made it a point to go there every Wednesday for 2 years, and I watched it being built from scratch all the way up.
When you have people that are driven and you work for them, it keeps you driven.
They've grown every year, but they haven't forgotten about where they came from. So it's great to hear that they're still, the small guy's still important. I mean, I've been here for a year. Dave's been here for over 20 years. The owner of the company knows my name just as much as he knows Dave's name.
I love making something work. I love being part of a team that makes it work.
We're always working together. There's always total communication in the shop, and there's never an issue with asking somebody a question about anything. It's always bring it up and let's get it resolved.
You know, as I got to know John and his family, to me, they're the American heroes. People coming up from scratch to grow a family. I'm so proud of them, and I've said to everybody, this is the American dream, where someone can come from ground zero and build a beautiful company.
I had 3 different jobs before I went in business. I didn't care for it because now I know how the people felt sitting in the back of the bus. But now I'm in the driver's seat. I make things happen on my own with the help of various people.
He was a one-man plumbing shop, and now it's this massive mechanical contracting firm that's very well respected.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am very, 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 very proud of all of you. You do an outstanding job with the company. As a matter of fact, none of you work for Cannistraro. We all work together. That's the key. And I love you all.